boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are feeling like the SPY, the Qs, pretty much everything, except M Sky says everything bullish except for bull. So feel like anything else, I guess. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy. Good morning to Andy, Bill, Cindy, Emily, Frank. Jeff is in the house. Good morning to Joe, John. We got John, Justin, Lauren, Martina, Michelle's in the house. Good morning to Natalie, Rick, Rob, Tim, Wendy. The squad is piled in today. Beautiful. Does that have anything to do with like the little rocket ship we had no more? I don't know. YouTube. Good morning to Hostile. Good morning to M Sky. Good morning to Sanjay, B Jal, Toby's in the house. Good morning to Joe. Yeah, lots of news. Lots of news this morning. So first, before even we get to CPI, we do have a deal with China. Market wasn't I well, market took it positively. We made a little move, little high wave indecision candle. But that's okay. We also had the CPI coming out a few minutes later, so probably best not to get too overexcited before we get more news. However, uh, the good news for the market is we have some kind of the deal's not signed yet. We still have to get Trump and Xi to meet and make sure that they actually sign the dotted line. However, it sounds like there is a deal, so that's good. Um, Regardless of what the deal is, the market should take it positively because the market likes to know what in the world is actually happening. What is the rules for the playground, and then how do we really benefit from that? So the fact that there is a deal gives us a little bit of consistency. It is still a higher tariff. You still got about a 55% tariff in there. So the tariff long term, I'm not sure exactly how long that stays in place or what the actual deal is for that, and all the minute details of what's happening in the deal. However, that's still a little bit higher than it's a lot higher than what we had before. So I think that is a good win for Trump, based on what he was looking to do. The market, how business works, how the global economy works, how inflation ends up starting to push. If that starts to get affected, we will see. But that's still a higher number as well off the 10% that I think a lot of people were thinking, and we'll see where that kind of leads to here. But at least we get consistency. Then, a few minutes after that, you get hit by the CPI, which comes in like a point 0.1 lower than expected, um, which is good. So inflation is down. The CPI that came out today is not going to show anything that the deal with China is doing, and obviously is not going to show anything really, probably even what the tariffs have been doing before. I do think in the next coming weeks you start to see some kind of, I don't know about fallout, but at least results from what those tariffs do, and see if the market can kind of sustain that. But all in all, good positivity. We've been just jamming in this little zone, really between like I don't know, 597.32 on the SPY, 600 on the SPY. We had a good breakout of that 600 yesterday. Today is a retest gap. We also are getting into a target that I've been looking at for a little while, 604.68. If we could start getting above that and start really getting above the 605 zone, the next spot that I see, and I don't really see too much, not a lot of interference up until 608.90, and then the next one is like 612.39, and we have to get a fat finger trade to just have an all-time high print at that point. So big resistance on the SPY, retest gap. We've made a move. I don't know. We might see some selling into this. The way that the market's been moving the last couple days, and maybe we were just waiting for the CPI. We were waiting for some kind of news on China deal or deals in general or whatever the case. Maybe we needed that little extra momentum, and this is enough to carry us through. But the last couple days showed there was a little bit of buyer exhaustion. Just the bulls haven't just stampeded in like we've seen from April, I guess end of April, beginning of May, end of May, all through May. So we'll see. We'll see if this holds. We'll see if there's an opportunity for some profit taking in the markets. Um, but it is a retest gap for support. Look for 601.97. See if we can hold that. Otherwise, if we start at any point breaking through, we'll call it like 604.93, but really 605 would give us a good clue that maybe that 608 is in the range for today. We'll see what other news wants to come out as well. The Qs. The Qs also at a very crucial spot, and maybe the Qs, which is seems to be leading a little bit more than the SPY. Maybe the Qs could give us a little clue as to what we're going to do. So again, retest gap. You have your support somewhere around 532.45. It is a nice bullish gap up today, but running into a very, very big resistance somewhere around 535.99. Let's just flatten that out at 536. If we start getting above 536, the next target's 537.55. The highest VPOC that I have on the chart is 539.11, and that's a huge one. So we'll see. But we have it in sights. It is locked and loaded. How we get there is anybody's guess. We will have some more options expiring this Friday. Next week, I believe it's next week. We also have the shortened week as well, so 4 days trading. How that's going to affect the markets, we'll see. There's a lot that could happen before we get to those all-time highs that I think everyone is kind of eyeballing and looking at this point. Let's take a look at crypto, BTC, USD. Sanjay says Tesla short term might be good. We'll get to that one next. Actually, that is a mover today. We got Bitcoin is hanging out, a little bit of a bull flag pattern again on Monday. Really nice breakout. This one ran right into some resistance. We're still having a little bit of trouble breaking through it. Next target, if we do, would take us up to, and for right now, it doesn't look like we're falling apart or collapsing. We have a potential double top, and I think some investors might be a little scared there. However, 111, 217 next target to the higher side. If we get some closing above that, then we're looking at all-time highs and probably another pretty decent sized leg up from that point. So we will see. Tesla, Elon saying he's regretting some of the texts or text. I was born in the 1900s. Leave me alone. The tweets, some of the tweets that he put out last week. He is regretting some of those, and it seems like Trump is willing to say, okay, might might be able to mend this relationship, and they seem to be willing to talk, and that's the tweet storm is what caused the drop. If the tweet storm is over and there's no escalation, that kind of is putting us right back to where we were. And we do have, I think there was some videos yesterday actually about robo taxis in Austin, Texas, riding around as well. So some of those might be on the road and kind of being tested out a little bit. But then we have the robo taxi event. I think it is on the 12th as well. So you have something to look forward to. You got a good news story today, and then you got some apologies from not I don't know if it's an apology, but regret from Musk. Good relationship back again with the White House. Seems like everything is back to normal. Beautiful looking gap. Good looking close yesterday, closing right above that high volume candle. So I'm hoping if anybody was long, that gave you your clue at close to just kind of hold it a little bit longer. Where do we go from here? I don't know. Um, I was looking at somewhere around this 333.48 zone to be some kind of resistance. It is another retest gap, so there might be some turbulence at open. We'll see. But let's see if we come down to that 333.48. I'm trying to see. Maybe we can get a zoom in a little bit more. 333.51, something like that. If we can hold that, that would look decent. That'd be a nice little close today, at least anything above that. Otherwise, I'm looking for like 338.57 is the next resistance, and we do start to pile in a decent amount of resistance. I have some calls. I might look to get some puts. I'm just not sure where, and just kind of regardless lock in some of those gains. And if this thing does anything at that point, um, I'll be pretty positive on those calls. But uh, look for 338.57. We got very close to it pre-market. I don't think we hit it though. Let's see. Yeah, we're above all moving averages on a shorter time frame, at least for now. Again, that morning chaos of a candle could change things. We got to 336.46, so I think we have some more room on this one. I don't know. That resistance is there, and then you have a ton of like 340.33. You got another one 341.94, another one at like 343.74. So we're starting to get to a little bit of a choppier zone. The bigger one I'm looking for if we could get there, and I think it's a little tough to get there, but it's 347.91 for me. So let's see if we just continue that momentum, if we could start to clear through some of those. I think any closing today really above 338.55 gets us in a much better position, even though that resistance is still there. Shows that the bulls are still not as anxious, and maybe that would take us up to that 347.91. And then if we could break through that, a double top at least would come into this 362.10 zone. But we'll see how this one plays out. Really good gap. If you're in it, congrats. You're up probably a decent amount on this gap up. It's a nice one. And then you also have the momentum from the market. Everything else telling us that we could probably look to push higher. But be careful on your entry. Be careful at the open on this one. Even yesterday, and it didn't really. This is a little sign of a little testament of strength. The VPOC from where we could have landed, where support actually was $300.66. All they cared about was getting us back to the opening of that candle, and then the bulls just kind of took off from there. So maybe that happens. Maybe we don't get down to yesterday's VPOC, which is somewhere around 317.46. That should be a very strong level at this point, I think. And that goes back from May 12th and yesterday. If at any point we start breaking through that, then maybe some of these lower ones could still hold us, but I think it'd be a little bit weaker at that point. For right now, it looks good. I want to be bullish on Tesla. It looks like it's got the momentum creeping right back in. The fact we took out that candle from June 5th with all that just panic selling, panic volume looks really, really good. And let's see if that could get us to the next leg up. But yeah, who was it? I think it was Sanjay says Tesla short might be good. I, I don't know. I want to get the puts on protection, but I don't even know where I want to take that. I would love to start creeping in with some puts because then I could go shorter time. The higher it goes, the shorter time I could get those puts for, and then reduce my risk to the short side, and then let the long side do its thing. Wendy says it's going to be delayed. The robo taxi, too much strength. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But there's a lot of hype going into it, so we'll see. AMD, another one. We had a really good trade off of this one. Kind of saved the day yesterday after and I'm hoping today's not one of those just inside back and forth, like things just don't run to targets. By the way, every single trade I looked at that we tried to take yesterday are they're all at targets today. I'm really, really good at picking the trade a day ahead of time, and then the market makers are just making those moves. But yeah, we had a little bit of a struggle in the first two trades of the day, and then on that random drop, I'm like, well, now AMD is pretty much at our targets as to where we would like to get in. And we got a nice little 2 hour trade. That is sitting now at what would have been 3 hours, and we were contemplating that one too. So that one kind of saved the day for us, put us into the green, and we just carry on to see the next day, which is fantastic. Again, AMD gapping up again. Nice open. It is a retest gap. Look for some kind of support around 123.38 if we do get that pullback. Are we opening into a resistance? Kind of. I don't know how strong that one is. We've been here before. I think we could go past this one. So otherwise, 124.49 would be your resistance that we're opening into. However, we've been there twice before. I think we can take that out. It might not be right out of the gate, might not be at open. We'll see how those candles kind of develop. But also, we don't have to get too aggressive. If AMD pulls back, I'm waiting to see if we could hit as close as possible to somewhere around this 123.40 zone. If we want to get a nice strong candle close, then I'm going to be looking to buy the dips as close as possible to probably about 124.49. And I have a target which would take us up to about 129.51. Could happen today. There is some more resistance. I think safely the next target would be somewhere around 126.08. But maybe we could, and then the next target after that 127.12. So I'm thinking we get to 129.51. So most likely that's probably tomorrow. Based on how the market wants to move for me lately, let's look for that one for tomorrow. But if you're in this one as a swing, looks phenomenal. I'd still be holding this one. I don't really see a reason to kind of get out. Do we have any volume on the side? We're getting to a very, very interesting area. Yeah, anything above like 126, so 125.74-ish, we start to, I mean, all of that resistance, all that volume is now support. Nothing really holding us back. The next spots I'm looking at is like 130, 139, 140 before some of that other volume creeps in. But obviously, I don't think that's all in one day. We'll see. I don't know. Looks very interesting. I'm gonna look to play this one again today. We'll see. Let me also get Tesla a little bit higher as well. That looks really good. We got Coinbase. Um, well, we're kind of flat a little bit in Bitcoin for the last 2 days. It does look like we're just consolidating before the next move. Whether that move is higher or lower, that is uh to be seen. We'll see what happens. Other than that, big level for me in terms of volume at least. You got 257.65. Let's get above that, and then we can make a case for continuation bullish. But even with that, here's your last breakdown candle. I want to see it close. I want to see a push above 258.95. So right now, again, still doesn't look bad. That is a nice looking gap up. We are just still inside that gap up. We haven't just made that next move. Lots and lots of consolidation. And then I think we could get if we do break out higher from here. Trading sideways is frustrating, but it is important. So that's allowing all those moving averages to start catching up. That would make that next break, once we finally break, even more powerful. So for right now, I think it's a for me, really don't touch. I don't think I'm going to day trade this one. If Bitcoin looks to break out, which is probably going to be a Saturday or Sunday, and something over the weekend, and then you give a nice gap up already. But we can still make money on that next gap up as well. Um, but yeah, if we start moving a little bit higher, great. For today, it still looks a little bit choppy, unless at some point today Bitcoin wants to break out. Maybe that does help coin push that next little level. For solar, yeah, also SEDG, I believe too, starting to make some moves. I think there was some upgrades in the space. There we go. Jeffries has upgraded for solar from a hold rating to a buy rating. There you go. And raised its price target from 157 to 192. Um, what was that bankruptcy comment? For solar rose 2.2% as Sonova and Musk filed for bankruptcy. Okay. So some competition going bankrupt and they are benefiting. Really good gap though. Technically a retest from yesterday, however, that's been an inside day. Gets us above the 200. I would see if we get a little pullback, maybe 168.39 would be an interesting spot to go long. And there's nothing really holding you back till 179.40. That's about a $10 push. I guess on a shorter level, maybe a little volume from 174.39. But other than that, I don't really see too much else. So yeah, that looks good. I would love a high wave candle on this one. Give me like a nice looking high wave candle, but I would be more bullish than bearish on that one. Bigger targets, bigger volume at least takes us to 194.03. So there's some room on that one too. If you have the uh tenacity, maybe is the word, tenacity to hold it for longer than a day. But yeah, you have about a $20 move. You have about a $30 move into that next actual really big target, and then who knows if you could kind of blow through that at that point. But looks interesting. I like it. Definitely put that one higher on the list. LOGI. Dana says, I think you're pretty awesome for sharing, going with us YouTube people. I understood about half of that sentence, to be fair. But I appreciate that. I do think I am pretty awesome as well. Now that we're talking about it. Hmm. I wasn't thinking that before. Now though, I am kind of thinking that. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here, Dana. That is awesome. We got Logi. Logi might have gone too much. That's a good gap, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row into this gap up. It is a good looking gap. I think resistance would have been somewhere around 87.60. However, you're starting to run into a little bit of resistance, and that is a heck of a lot of buying ahead of time. So, Logitech for me, I like it bullish, but if you need a fade candidate, so far this is the one that I think I don't think I'd want to fade this one, but if I had to, Like if someone was offering me cookies or something, like, hey, have some crackers if you want to short something, I'm probably Logi. I think somebody maybe might want to take a some gains, possibly bigger target on this one, so maybe a little more upside. $90.88. The closer you get to that, the better the short. But um, yeah, and the fact that we're above 89.11 too. So either come down, start breaking this $89 zone first, and then look for some continuation down to like I don't know 87.53, or your move to the bullish side if you're trying to go bullish on this one. I don't think you have that much room, but that would take you to about $90.88 and probably a better spot, risk reward wise, to short at least if it could get there. So maybe a quick move and see if that one wants to pull back. Good gap, but I think it just ran. I think I'm buying other people's profits at that point. Jenny's in the house. What's up, Jenny? We got pins. Nice little gap up. That one's still got some room. Pins is always one of my nemesises. Nemesises? I don't know. I don't know. It's an English language thing. Target on this one would take us to about 36.16. It is a retest gap from yesterday. Beautiful looking gap and go though. And it actually even retested perfectly into the VPOC. Let's see if we can do that again. $35.04 would be my new alert that I'm setting. Although I did set an alert yesterday on something and it didn't work. And I still don't really see this alert setting. Why? Add alerts. Yeah, my alerts are not being added to TradingView. Okay. Well, I will put this one a little bit higher. It does have some room on it. It's probably got to be a tighter setup. I want to go too wide on that setup. Oh yeah, I got Amazon on the list too. Yeah, that was pre-market. That was hitting out targets like a champion. This one again, even though during the day it's been a little bit tougher for some reason. I don't know why. It looks like it's ready to go, and they just don't go. But you still have that little bit of resistance from back in January, like January 13th, January 14th, 15th. I am really looking at this target at 222.69. We still have a ton of room, and maybe the Bulls see that too, or the Bears see that too, and they're trying to keep it down. But couple days bullish, high wave candle. I'm gonna take a shot on Amazon again if I can, if it allows me to. I think that'd be decent. One of these days is gonna it's gonna get the breakout. And again, we have the China deal. You would think that that should benefit Amazon. However, in the deal, it's 55% tariffs. Maybe that doesn't. I don't know. You got SoFi. SoFi is an okay gap. Decent looking gap. I think I'd have to wait for a pullback on this one. You got your next target at $14.73. It is a retail love stock, and maybe retailers come in and push it through some crazy levels, but you are starting to hit some pretty interesting resistance up on this one, although pretty fantastic gap. Um, if this one wants to pull back a little bit more, it could be a fun one to watch. Maybe we could play it. I would rather be bullish than bearish on it. It looks decent. However, I got to get a good intraday setup on that one, I think. Shopify, really interesting. Also a good high wave candidate. Next target on this one, from what I'm looking at, takes us to about 113.87. So you got some room on it. Again, I think that the China deal probably benefits businesses, maybe some small businesses that might order some products from China. Um, might encourage of like, hey, if you want to start a business, you're probably going to need a website. They could buy your knickknacks off of your website, and then those knickknacks come from China, so might be decent. It is a little bit of retest gap. I like the location of the open. See if you get a very small pullback on this one, 111.21. Anything underneath that, let it go. Don't get too aggressive on the trade. Next spot to look is 110.55 and then 109.44. Would be very interesting, but I like the fact that we're above this 111.21 now, and I think you have some room on this one. You might have to be quick. Maybe there's some pre-market consolidation you could take a break on. That looks very interesting though. And you got about $2 on that one, so you probably look for about maybe a 75-cent spread, something like that. We'll see. RGTI. Uh, Rigetti. That's how I think I should say that. I don't know how to say this company name. So I'm gonna put a little maybe Italian accent on it. It feels Sicilian. I don't know. But look for a break of $12.27. Next target on that one, $12.82. We've been there before. We could break through. That could take you up to like 13.47. Pretty decent gap and go. You have some volume coming in yesterday. That might be off of potential news, it looks like. But yeah, I'd watch this one. It's not on my list. Let's add it. Let's get that one a tad higher. I don't know how this one trades. I've never traded this one before, but if you get a little bit higher, maybe that momentum comes in. It's had a nice bullish run, and then the last few days has been its pullback. So maybe it is ready to go again. Higher targets, $13.86 to like $14, which is a nice move off a $12 stock. So not bad. MU looks like it's trying to gap again. Pretty fantastic gap up. You're above all types of resistance in terms of volume on the side, which is good. Clear, get me through 116.24, and I'd feel a lot better about it just with the amount of buying that has already come in. Also, retest gap. If it doesn't want to clear through that, see if you could get a better buy spot somewhere around 114.26. I probably want to flex some patience muscles on this before just getting in. If you're already in it, you're probably just closing your eyes, sitting through that little pullback. It does look like it wants to go a little bit higher, but um, not sure how much more today. We got Serve Robotics. It's a gap and go, still inside day, and it does have a resistance. So I don't know. You have a double top on your daily as well. You're above all the moving averages. Good momentum in it. Looks like we are consolidating. Until we break out, until we really get past this $12.94, that would be the sign for me that it is starting to break out of this sideways chop. But even 2 days ago, two trading days, so Monday, we kind of broke out again. Good close on this one. That was a retest. I'd prefer to be bullish more than bearish, but see if there's a little chop on this one at open as well, because you are going to have a pretty noticeable double top. That cannot be the morning bell. No, that's too soon. But everybody in YouTube land, unfortunately, the my ears are not deceiving me. That is the morning bell. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. Other than that, you guys are